back with another podcast episode 27, I believe. You got my boy Jamar, Nichols. What's good, bro? We've finally got this going.
Yeah, man, we find it's been a couple weeks coming, but we got it. We made it
Yeah,
happen, man. I'm happy to be here, man.
happy to have you on, man. What's the vibes right now? I mean, the show's popping. You know what I'm saying? I know the DM's got to be crazy.
Man, it's
Yeah,
crazy, man. Like it's a little surreal. I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt like for a minute I was like, this is a lot, man, because I just want to be well
yeah,
known for what I do. But you got the number one show on television. It's bound to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
facts. Did you expect this type of response when like you seen yourself on TV?
I think I didn't. I didn't expect the response that I was getting. I mean, I knew it was gonna like be big because you know what I'm saying. One
Yeah,
thing we all know how big power is, but
facts.
like the impact and watching people like break down. People are like how like that's why I love your platform too. Like people are breaking
Appreciate
down the
that, bro.
scenes and trying to figure out what's going on. And people like breaking down my
Yeah.
lines and everything like that. I was just like, man, this is dope. This is dope. People tagging me. People like, yo, they talking about you. They talking about what you said the jukebox or whatever. I'm like, that's cool, man. I appreciate it.
So was you
It's all
like
love though. I love it, man.
was you a big fan of Power before you got on the show? Like were you tapped in already?
So I never really got into raising Kanan. I had like, cause I do a lot, so I don't really have time to sit down and like watch TV as much as I want
Yeah.
to. But I had watched Ghost. I had watched Ghost first, like when Power first came out. I was into it, and I was kind of into like BMF a little bit. Like I was watching BMF a little bit before Ghost and stuff. Nah, man, hear me out, hear me out. I was like, I had watched the first season of Ghost and the first season of BMF, and then the first season of Tommy, and then I was gonna jump in and
Yeah.
watch the whole entire Raising Kanan.
Oh, okay.
So I
Yeah, the
was
first
catching
season
up.
of
I was
BMF
catching up.
was yeah, the first season was solid, was solid.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did this kind of come about? Like what's the before you even got to Raising Kanan, like did you have other roles in acting, like whether it be commercials and stuff like that?
So this was my first like TV like appearance ever. So this is my
Nuts.
first role. So
Holy
this was
shit.
I had got this I got this audition December right after the writer strike because remember all of 2023 there was a writer strike so
Yeah.
nothing was filming at the time. So this
Mhm.
writer strike ended November 2023. I got this audition December 2nd from my agent. And I saw it and I was like, Raising Kanan. Why does that sound so familiar? So I looked it up. I was like, oh, this is Power. This is Power Book 3. I'm like, oh, wait, hold up.
Yeah.
I did the audition. I did like 3 or 4 takes. And then my homeboy was like, yo, the fourth take, he was like, yeah, that's it right there. And then I uploaded it. And then usually when you do an audition as an actor, if you don't hear nothing back within like 2 to 3 days, you don't expect that's why they always say to do an audition and move on. I didn't
Mm.
hear back for 3 weeks. I found out Christmas Eve that I got the role. I think it was December 23rd, December 24th, one of those days. I found out I got it. I got it. I was like, oh, this is lit.
Wow. Damn, so like why does it take so long for them to get back to you though? Like 3 weeks is crazy. I would have thought like, hey, maybe they're not rocking with me.
I think it was because the writer strike had just ended. So they were trying to get
Oh,
everything in order, like and stuff like that. Cause literally
yeah.
as soon as I got the role, I had to go film the following week, right after Christmas. So the following week,
Damn.
I went from like January 8th and 9th.
Wow. Damn. So you get to what's kind of your first initial reaction when you find out you get the role? Like you telling everybody or you kind of keep it on the low?
Nah, so I kept it real distinct. Like I talked to my manager and like my agent about it. Obviously, he called me a few times. I kept it real low because I know what the caliber of NDAs are. And
Mm.
at the time when everything started to come back on TV, everybody was waiting for Power. Like they were waiting for it. So when I
Yeah.
looked it up, I saw it was the number one show. Like I like to abide by my NDAs. So I kept it really, really low. But it was hard because like I was so excited. Like I'm like, yo, this is my first role in this on an A-list TV show. How do I not tell people? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I kept it real low.
So the family, your friends, nobody knew.
My family and friends knew I was gonna be on TV. They didn't know what I was going to be on.
So when you go into work and you like, what do you tell them though? Like, oh, I'm going to film.
So I told my pops. I told my pops kind of he knew something because well
Yeah.
the thing with when you get a role like that or anything like that, there's a and like a up I think it's like upstate New York. I don't want to mess it up, but you go to this building in New York and you have to get fitted for your costume and stuff like that. And I did the table read there too. So I told him, I'm like, yo, I gotta go to New York, pops. Like, I'll be back in town. Like, I had already, I was already living on my own or whatever. But I was like, yo, I'll be back in town. So he like, what are you gonna do? Like, what's going on? He like, you keeping it real, like secretive. You're not used to that. I'm like, I can't
Yeah.
really say right now. You know what I'm saying? I signed the NDA, whatever. I can't say. So he was like, all right, cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? Let go. So you go, you get fitted for your costume and stuff like that the day before. Like, I think it was like the day before. Yeah, I got fitted for my costume. I did the table read, and then they tell you got to be on set like the next day. So I can't. I'm from Connecticut, so I went to New York, came back to Connecticut later that day, and then had to go back to New York 5 o'clock the next morning.
Damn.
Yeah.
So they don't really give you like no real notice time for like a week is kind of crazy. That's not a lot of time to get
Nah, yeah, it
prepared.
wasn't really noticed. I got the role December 24th. They told me December 30th. I mean, December 30th, had to be there, but then they changed it. So like it was like they pinned me. I got a call back for December
Mm,
30th. And then they were like, okay, basically saying the role is mine. Because at first they send you a message and they say, can we book him to make sure that your schedule's in order with it? And that's what I got December 30th. And then they said we just want to touch base back and let him know that the role is his. Then I got a message January 7th. It was like, we need you to come to New York January 8th to get fitted for your costume and do the table read and stuff like that on Zoom. And then January 9th, I had to be back in New York. And basically, when you get there, I caught the train up there, and then there's a car that sits in New York and takes you to where the trailers are. And then from the
okay.
trailers, you get ready, you do that, you go to hair and makeup. You know what I'm saying? And then it takes you to set. So like it's like a 3-step part to it.
Damn. So what's the process when you kind of like talking back and forth with them to let you know you get the role? Is your agent doing like that talking, or are you the one kind of at the head of everything, like saying, okay, this is kind of how I want
So
things to go?
my agent's job is pretty much done after he gets me the audition and he sends me the details about the roles. Then he's done.
Oh, okay.
My manager, which is the one that you spoke to, my manager, shout out
Yeah.
Reggie. He handled
Shout
that
out
part.
Reggie.
So he's like he handles that. He's like, okay, you gotta be in, we gotta make sure that the train ticket is for this time. You gotta be there this time. This is when they're gonna be. So he handles that part, like the part, and then making sure I get back and everything as accordingly.
Okay, okay. So get the role, everything's set. What's kind of the mindset like, yo, this is my first role. My first role's on Power. Like, what you even thinking? Like, how you even prepare for your first role?
Honestly, I've been active for 15 years. Like I went to college, and this is my first. Once I got out of college, I entered a competition, and I won this competition. That's how I met my agent and stuff like that. So
Mm,
I'm I'm never nervous. Like I don't get nervous. I win when it come down to going to do what I do. Like, but this
okay.
right here, this is a different caliber. Like it's like
Oh
it's like
God.
I'm like, oh man. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
really know like what to expect. So I mean, obviously I was nervous because that's just how it is. But I knew the power set is so welcoming, and I want to give them a shout out for this because
Mm,
from the cast and the crew, they are so dope and they're really organized. Like that's the great thing about it. So
mhm.
seeing how organized they were, how comfortable they made me feel, I had to make sure that I wanted to give my all to it. I didn't want to sell them short because they weren't selling me short. They were definitely like I've been on a few sets before. Like it's not like this is new to me. Like because I've
Yeah.
been around, even though I didn't. This is my first role. I've been on a few sets, but there's nothing like when they say it. There's nothing like the power set. It's so family oriented. There's nothing like the power set.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting because you always see these interviews with actors and like people in power, and they always speak about that. But they say like it's not always like that with most sets. Like it's mostly just professional. Like, all right, you go do your job, you leave. Versus on Power, everyone's kind of more like family oriented, I guess. Like, is that kind of how it
Hmm.
felt?
Yeah, because it's like with other sets, it's more so of a you have the they like a lot of sets I've been on, they keep it real professional. It's like, oh, okay, I'm not we want this way. It's boring in a sense, like it's like not
Yeah.
like lively until the camera's rolling and then you in character.
Mm,
But with with this, they were like we came in, mind you, I didn't really know nobody. Like, it was just mad love, like from going and getting, fitted for my costume and everything, and then also
yep.
going and like doing hair and makeup, like the barber talking to me and stuff. Cause there's a little trailer with hair and makeup. Like it's a barber there, it's a makeup artist. It was just like just so much love. Like, and then even going and meeting the cast, like, and shout out London, who plays Uncle Marvin. Shout out Patina Miller, who plays
Yep.
Rock, and shout out Jukebox. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Haley, man. She was just, they're
Phenomenal.
such good people, man. Like such good people.
Yeah, that's dope. Kind of what was the experience like working with a jukebox, a Haley Kilgore? Like, what do you feel like you kind of learned being on set with someone like that? Cause she a pro. She
Man,
a pro.
her her acting range is like is monumental. Like,
Mm.
you talk about someone being completely different than what their character is. She is
That's
the
right.
total opposite of her character. She's
Yeah,
such a
yeah.
nice person. Like talk about a sweet, nice, genuine person. That is exactly what she is. So to see her switch as soon as the camera's rolling, like, I'm like, yo, how do I? I'm trying to
Mhm.
learn. I'm like, how do I do this? Because I met, shout out London, when we first walked in. It's because it's a car that takes us. We first walk in. Patina was there and London was there, and they had just finished filming their scenes. Now I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. Like, I was like, yo, I see these people on TV, and now I'm in the room with
Yeah.
them. So Patina, she spoke to us first. She said hello to us. She greeted all of us, like the whole crew as a whole. Greeted all of us, spoke to us
Fire.
individually. Same thing with London. Shout out Uncle Marvin. He spoke to us, asked us who he's playing. He was like they talked to us. And then Haley, like, literally, like, she's like, she first of all, she was having already like a long day, so she was already tired, but she was present the whole time. Like, the whole
Wow,
time she interacted with us, she showed us a lot of love. Like, she's such a great person, man. They're all great people.
that's fire. So, what's kind of the mindset when you're on set because you want to do your job, but you also want to take advantage of like the professionals that are around you and kind of like get some
Mhm.
game too. So how do you kind of balance that? Like, I want to be like, hey, how you do this? How you do this? How you do this? How you do this? Versus
Mhm.
like, you know what I'm saying? How do you kind of gauge that? Or are they open to like, giving the advice and shit like that?
Yeah, I think with me it was a little bit different because, like, when I'm in my mode, when I'm in my element, I know what I'm capable of. I know how good
Mm.
I am, and I know what I can do. So, like, I'm real observant. So I'm watching a lot. Like, I'm
Yeah.
watching, like, people, even the extras. I'm watching the extras, like, people that's because, like I said, this is my first time not being an extra, actually being like a main
Mm.
character on a set. So I'm watching. I'm real observant. I'm paying attention. I know what I'm bringing, but I like to just pick up. Like, I like to pick people's brain without even saying anything. So I'm
Okay.
I'm real I'm observing. I'm watching the whole time. I'm seeing how everybody interact. Not to mention the chemistry that me and the crew had, and we built that chemistry in like 5 minutes on our way to set.
Wow. Damn. So that's what I'm kind of curious about. Cause how the hell you build chemistry in 5 minutes? Like you don't even know these people. You just pull up and they're like, all right, get the filming. Like, is there any conversations before y'all start filming? Like, okay, let's kind of do this, or like, is it really just like just do your job?
So shout out to Ro. I know you interviewed Ro. He
Yeah,
plays Fliplo. So shout out to
my
Ro,
guy.
right? Because he was the first one. Like, my all our trailers were right next to each other, but we all came out at different times. So he
Okay.
was the first one when we all came out. We were standing outside, whatever. He was the first one to ask him, like, he was like, "Yo, who you play? Like, who you play?" And then he was like, "Oh, I'm Fliplo, I'm Twanlo, I'm Hilo." So that's how we all like met. Like, we met coming out of here and make it, but Ro introduced himself first. So at that point
Mm,
in time, we building chemistry from there. We talking, we laughing or whatever. But now we get in the car to leave. Now we're communicating, everybody talking about, and it's not we're not even talking about the show. We just talking about like our personal lives, like who our agents are, like what have we
wow.
done so far, and that's
Mhm.
building chemistry there because you got to build
Mm,
chemistry personally first before you can jump into character with somebody.
yep.
If you don't
Yep.
have no type of, like, acting is about jumping into a different world, but you have to have some type of respect and relationship with that person before the camera turns on.
Yep.
So it don't take that long to have a mutual respect if you're a genuine person.
Hmm.
So that's why it was so easy for all of us to click.
Wow, I love that. So when you film it, when you get on set, like, how do you kind of is there like a room for improv, or are they like strict like no, you got to do this, you got to say this at this time, or they kind of let y'all play around like multiple takes and stuff?
Nah, it was. I would say like 80% of that was improv.
For
So,
real?
like, yeah, for real. Like,
That's
now
nuts.
what we said was our lines, but
Yeah.
our mannerisms, the way I'm holding the blunt, like the way I'm like the way I'm walking and stuff like that.
Hey,
That's
come to
all
Brazil with
improv.
that blood.
Yeah, man. And the crazy thing is, I don't smoke at all. Like, I don't
For
smoke.
real?
So, yeah. So I had to figure it out. Now you got to think about that was like the late 80s, early 90s. So they were still holding it like
Mm,
this. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Two fingers. It wasn't held like this yet. You know what I mean? So I had to really like that. All of that stuff you
Yeah.
had to pay attention to. So from even when she start, if you would pay attention to that scene, when Haley starts to walk in, you hear us in the background
Mm,
because the extras aren't they're not really speaking like on set, you know what I'm saying? So it's really it's our sound. You hear us. So we're starting to talk as soon as she's walking through the door. We're already talking and communicating. So that's all improv. That's not in the script.
yep.
We made that up on the fly. And the crazy thing about it is what we did was we picked a girl. Like we just picked the name. I forgot what her name was. We picked a girl and we just picked a random name and we just start talking about a girl and like how we all wanted to mess with her and stuff like that. That's the conversation that we had as a crew because we the
Okay.
low life gang, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just what we do. So we spoke about that outside. We picked a name, we picked a girl, and then we was just like, this is what we're gonna run with. This is gonna be our thing. So up to her walking up to us, that was all improv. And then our
Wow.
lines were written in the thing.
So you talked about like the chemistry necessary between like you and the cast. How much collaboration is done between like the cast and like the director? Like, is there any conversation before y'all film? Like, okay, this is kind of the type of shots I want to get. This is where I want you to be at, and stuff like that. How much is the director involved in those type of stuff?
So there's one director, but there's multiple people on set. Like what y'all saw, that looks like there's multiple people. So there was the main this main director that's behind the camera, the person that's holding the boom mic, and then
Mm-hmm.
we have assistants on set. So when the camera
Mm,
cuts, assistant comes like she one lady she came, she's adjusting my hair. You know what I'm saying? It was cold. It was
that's
freezing.
crazy.
You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure I had my Vaseline. You know what I mean? I couldn't be out there with my lips
Yeah.
ashy on camera. I couldn't do
Yep.
it. So like we have that like so it's so many different hands on set. So like it's a lot of people. So the director's main job is to make sure that the set is quiet and make sure they're focused on the camera. And we
Mm,
have the man that was doing the props is the one that came up to us and was like, okay guys, the director figures out where he wants us to be placed. But the dude that does the props, he came and he's like, okay guys, this is the lingo back at that time. So he was teaching us
mm.
like, you know what I'm saying, like be and like dead ass, you know what I'm saying, stuff like that. Like think about like all of that back in that time. He was like,
Yeah.
he was teaching us the lingo, like, yo, this is that time period. This is what they were saying. This is what they weren't saying. This is how you hold the blunt. Who's gonna have the beer? So he taught us all of that. Like he kind of helped with our chemistry and stuff like that. So there's massive amount of people that's on set that makes sure everything goes in order. So the director he kind of is the one that's behind the camera. He sees what he wants. He'll cut if he's not okay with what's happening. But main thing, there's many people around.
Yeah. Talk about that because like when you watch it on TV, it seems like it's only the people there who are actually on camera. So what's it
Mhm.
like locking in when you got like probably 100 people on the set? Camera goes on, you got to be focused on just the camera and ignore everybody else that's there. Like that's got to take a lot of focus and like just being on point. Because if you mess up, that's like time that they wasting. Like you know what I mean?
hmm
Yeah.
And that's they do not like to waste money. I think what it is when you getting ready to film, that's why there's so many people on set because they want your focus. It's just that like I'm telling you, like when I'm getting fitted for my costume, I'm used to taking my jacket off and hanging it up. They don't even want me to do that. They're like, no, don't do that. We got that. We
That's
got that. Don't worry about
crazy.
that. Like it's literally that many people like on set. So that way you're the only thing you need
Wow.
to focus on is when the camera is rolling
Hmm.
and you being on point with your lines. They take care of everything else. Nothing else for you to worry about. So that's what makes it
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, they make your job easy. So, did you kind of feel that vibe when you get fitted, you get the costume and everything? Did you feel like you was in that like time period? Like, does it feel like that? Because it really looked like they make the show look like it's the 80s, 90s, bro. Like, this shit is
Hmm
nuts.
Yeah, absolutely. They and shout out to the writers and the costume designers, you know what I'm saying, that really put in like the workforce. Shout out Raising Kanan Costumes too. You know what I'm saying? I told myself them, but
Mm-hmm.
they like they design these things. They look at pictures, like there's pictures from the '90s and how they want things to look. You know what I'm saying? They really take the time to figure out what they want things to look like because they want to be as authentic as possible. So you see, like the vintage polo that we were wearing, the stuff we were wearing isn't out right now. That's not like new. That's from back then. Like
Yeah,
they
that's some fly
really,
shit.
really wanted to be, and it was fire too, man. I wish I could have had kept some, man. I
Yeah.
wanted that jacket so bad.
Bro, that's what I'm curious too. Like, if you want to set like that and you get, you know what I'm saying, you get some drip, like, they
Not
don't even, they're not even trying to hear that. Like, oh, can I take this? Like, they
so
don't go for that.
I didn't ask. I didn't ask, like, you know what I'm saying? But because like
Yeah.
I think you have to be on a certain level. So there's this thing called the call sheet. And
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like if you top 10 on the call sheet, it might be a little bit different than because I was like 59 on the call sheet, whatever. So you know what I mean? Like if you top 10,
Yeah,
there's probably a leverage of what you could keep and what you can't keep. You know what I
yeah.
mean? But with us, we couldn't keep. We had to leave a lot of that stuff there.
Oh, so pretty much what you're saying is like if it's like a Mackay or Patina or London, they might have more leverage to be like, yo, I want this, I want that.
Yeah, they might say I don't really know. They might be
Yeah.
able to ask for that. I know me personally, I didn't leave with nothing but my socks and my Timbs that I had already. I ain't leaving nothing. Man, I wanted that jacket, man.
Bro, that's lit. Like, damn. So you film. When you filming, do you kind of get an opportunity to see what you're filming? Like, do they kind of show y'all like after each cut, like, okay, this is how this scene looked, or you didn't see nothing until like they went live with it,
No,
like
no.
the show
So
dropped.
what it is when you filming, after you're done filming, when they break and stuff like that, we can go around because there's three like stage directors that's in a different room watching it be filmed. There's a director that's behind the camera, and then there's
Mm.
other directors that's watching it, and they're communicating through mics. So we get to go. They let us go and watch it and see what we think too. Like they'll let us look and like we get to watch on while they're observing because they figure they looking at it to observe what they want. Is this the shot that they want? Is this how they like it? Do we need to do it again? So we get to go. We get to go watch the takes, and you get to see it like it's this big screen like that's watching through the camera that's in the other room, and it shows you like the whole set and shows you how everything is being filmed. And then if they
Okay,
don't,
that's
if
dope.
it's something that's like, oh, okay, no, we need to change this, they'll say cut through the thing, and then the director will cut. So they communicate
Okay.
all through mics.
So do you know if you killed it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know, or you kind of flawed in that where it's like, I think I killed it every time. Like, you know what I mean? Or do you know like, oh no, that take I really did my thing. Like, I was in pocket. That's where I want to be at.
Yeah, I think that comes from your acting ability at that point. We never us
Yeah.
as actors, especially like if you're as humble as I am, I always think that like I'm not. Nah, this ain't good enough. Nah, this ain't good enough.
Hmm.
This could
Yep.
be better. This could be better. You always want to have that balance of like, yo, that was good, but I can still do this. And I leave that honestly. Shout out to my team. Shout out to Reggie. Reggie keeps me very humble, like very humble. Like
Yeah. Yep.
I ask him about like the role. I'm like how did I do it? He's one of those like he's like, eh, did good. But I would say he's that like he's like, but I would say everybody else like people in the
Yeah.
media and stuff like that. Oh my god, you killed it. My team gonna keep me humble every time. So
Yeah.
what
I like
them
that.
keeping me humble, I remain humble. So there's always room for improvement. So one take I might be like, yo, this was cool. Like I changed the way that y'all saw me. I changed the way I held the blunt three times, like three times. Once when it
Okay.
first saw it, it was like this. This first time I had it hanging like out my mouth like that. And the third time I was holding it like that, but it just looked weird. So I just kept it like this the whole time. So a lot of stuff shifts, a lot of stuff
Yeah.
changes.
So, do you? How do I say it? Do you feel like? Are you comfortable watching yourself? Because I feel like a lot of people probably feel mad awkward seeing themselves on TV. Like I heard a lot of actors say, like, "Man, I don't like to watch my stuff." Like, do you watch your own like work, or do you critique, or do you let your team do all of that?
Well, my team critiques it as well, but I watch my
Yeah.
work. I definitely watch my work
Yeah.
because I need to know. Okay, Jamar, that was cool. That was a little too much. You can do better with that. I critique my own work for sure because I'm my biggest critic for sure.
Yep.
So I definitely sit down and watch my. Even if it's, I ain't gonna say it's not cringy because it is a little cringy
It
sometimes
gotta
watching some. You know what I'm saying?
be.
Watching some stuff, but
Yeah.
it's good for me to watch because I get to observe and be like, okay, I can do this better next time.
So you said you've been doing this for a long time. Who has been like some of your inspirations in terms of actors, actresses that you kind of like look up to, you study, that you was tapped in with?
So I think actor wise, obviously the number one, my favorite actor of all time. Shout out to Denzel Washington.
I
Like,
knew you was
you
gonna
know,
say
say that he's the
that.
goat. He's the goat. But
Yep.
I would say, like, my work ethic came from Kevin Hart. Shout out Kevin Hart. His, cause
Okay.
like the way that I work is how he work. I'm like a machine. Like I'm
Mm.
more so like,
Facts.
oh, can we do this? How do we get it done? How do we get it done? Yeah, let's do it. How do we get it done? Like I'm so hungry. Like I'm trying to get to everything at one time, and sometimes the hardest thing for me is to slow down and rest. That's my
Same, bro.
biggest flaw
Yep.
right now is resting because I feel like can't nothing go undone. Like nah, we got to get this in. I don't care what time it is. We're gonna figure it out. So like
Yeah.
watching, I followed Kevin Hart's career the whole time, and to see like how he started from I'm a little grown man to where he is now, like him and shout out. I don't know if you know who Wallow and Gilly is. Shout out
Yo,
Wallow.
hell yeah. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Wallow 100% because his story and his journey and how he made
Insane.
this video recently. He was like, people are gonna be outside this summer. That's cool, be outside. I can't be outside. I'm chasing 50 million right now. I got to get behind that. I like
Ooh.
that's what I'm on.
Yeah. I like that you said that, bro, because I feel like people just be comfortable. You know what I mean? And I feel like when
Mhm.
you have that mindset of I'm always hungry, I'm always getting it, people look at you like you weird or something, like something's wrong with you, but you chasing something bigger. Do you feel like you run into people in the industry that they just kind of act like they not really hungry, like because I feel like a lot of people want to do this shit to be famous, but like I feel like something like acting, you gotta really love it. Like it's not you don't act become an actor to become famous because a lot of people are unknown type shit.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
with the industry from so far from what I've seen, like one thing I'm gonna say that that power set, they got it. They got it. They bringing it every time
Mm.
because they're all nice people.
Yeah.
And when you see them on the screen, like in that zone, like it's like yo, it's mind blowing. Like that's the
Facts.
definition of working hard because to make a
Mm.
switch that fast as soon as the camera's rolling, that takes elite training. Like you have to
Yep.
work hard to get that. That's not something that anybody can just do because it has to be authentic. And you
Mm.
believe what you're seeing on this show right now, and that's the whole point for the audience to really believe this. So shout out to them. But I would say other sets. So from what I've seen so far, everything is like there's still a lot of people that's bringing it, but there's also like there's a hard thing with the industry and like wanting people with a certain social media platform. That's what the industry, the acting industry is becoming, and
Mm.
I'm not a fan of that. I'm not a fan of like okay, you're a rapper, okay, you have a million followers, a million subscribers, like you know what I'm saying, 3 million. We're just gonna bring you in to because
Yep.
you have a big fan base. The work, there's people out there that's putting in the work, like that deserve the opportunity. Like,
Facts.
and especially if you show up and then you showing up late or you gonna half ass do it, like, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I don't agree with. Like if you're gonna go all the way and then people be like, oh, oh, the rappers, saying like they got the big platforms and stuff like that. But there's still a art. This is an art. This is
Yep.
our art. That's why I respect Tupac for sure.
Mm.
Because he came into this art and people forget that he was an actor and a poet first, but he came into this art with respect for it.
Yep.
Like, and that's why all his roles are like top tier. Like they still holding up to this
Legendary.
day
Yeah.
because
Yep.
he didn't come in there and be like I'm Tupac, I'm a rapper, da da. Da. He came in there like how do we get this done as a team? How do I fit into y'all world? He came into the world with respect. A lot of people don't come into it with respect, and that's where my clash is.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. I said once in the video, I was like, I'm a fan of them just casting actors, like people who do it, like who actually do the role. And people was like, "Oh, you hating? You want to see these rappers on the show?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm cool with rappers being on the show if they actors." Like I look at a Joey Badass, like I didn't know he could act like that. When the show first came out, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like you could tell he was really locked into the craft. Not everybody's like that, you know. So
Hmm.
do you feel like in the industry, kind of like you said, like it's really about like followers and shit now, like having a big platform.
I mean, at this point, with I mean, you see a lot of certain shows and certain things that it's like the
Yeah,
cast is just like full of like artists and stuff like
crazy.
that. You know, what I mean? It's crazy. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's why I like shout out. Funny story about Joey Badass too. Like, shout out to him because that one he's killing Unique like
killer.
out the park, like out the
Ooh.
park, like.
Yeah,
And at the time that we were filming, y'all thought that Unique was dead, but we
yeah.
all did. When I kid you not, I got in the Zoom for the table read, right? And everybody like turned so they like everybody turn on your camera, introduce yourself if you're new here and stuff like that.
Mm.
I'm introducing myself, cool. And then they like, okay, everybody turn their camera on for a second. Because they have to go through the rules of the NDA. Even though you signed the contract,
Mm.
they're gonna go through it again. They like obviously what you guys see here is different from what's happening. So we need to abide by the NDA. So they give you the breakdown. I'm like, okay, well, like what's different and what's going on? I look, I'm like, oh, so he was in the table read. He was in the table read.
Damn.
He chilling, like he chilling. He happy, like he happy. He cool. Everybody happy to be here, whatever. As soon as they turn us in, like okay, guys, we starting from page one. This one Q1 and for Unique. Everything changed. Everything changed. He ain't Joey Badass no more. He's Unique. Like when
Mm.
we watch, we look. I'm watching him like work, and he like that's not Joey Badass. That's the reaction that you want. Like me. People that know me, like, yo, man, if somebody was like, yo, man, I almost dropped the blunt watching you with the blunt because they know me as somebody I don't smoke and stuff like that. They
Yeah.
know that. But that's not Jamar. That's high low. That's what you want.
Yep.
That's how I knew I
That.
did well.
Mhm. I'm glad you mentioned the table read because that's something I'm curious about. Like, so people come into the table read like in character type shit, like, or like how does that work? Because I feel like they reading the lines or they coming in like we're filming.
They're not even in character. That's like everybody came into the table read happy. Like shout out Malcolm who plays Uncle Lou. He plays Lou.
Yep.
He came in, he was hyped, he was happy and stuff like that. London came in, he was hyped, he was happy. Everybody was cool. Makai came in, he was hyped. Like everybody was happy and just happy to be there. Haley, like everybody was cool. Everybody was cool. But as soon as that shift happens, where it's like, yo, we jumping into the script, everything changes. Now everybody turn their cameras off. Everybody turn their camera off. And then
Really?
this when
Wow.
it's your scene, that camera comes back on. They in character. That's it. They in character until it's over. They in character.
Oh, okay. That's interesting how they do that. I'm surprised. Like they don't do in person table reads no more.
So since the pandemic happened, not we don't do it right now. I guess they're trying to jump back into that, but it used to be in person auditions, in person like table reads and stuff like that. Because of what the pandemic did to the industry, now a lot of things are just over Zoom. Like even auditions now aren't in person; they self tape.
Mm. Yeah, talk about that because do you feel like there's a not a disadvantage, but like do you feel like it's harder to audition and do table reads when you're not actually there because you're not with the people. It's hard to feel like it's hard to lock in because you know what I mean.
Mm,
Like it's almost like
yeah,
you can't really. Yeah, that's how do you navigate that? Like even with the
I
self
think
tapes,
with
like
the
you said, like you're not with the people in the scene to be able to do it. It's like
mm,
yeah.
with the table read, it's harder because that table read is a chemistry read. That
Yeah.
chemistry read is like it's good. So it's harder with not being in the table read with each other. Auditions, big advantage. Way
Mm,
easier. Way
really.
easier because when you walk into a room to do an audition, you have one chance. Like you might get multiple chances, but you have one chance. You have one chance to
Okay.
show them what you can do. Like,
Yeah.
and if they like, and they're not good, you don't get a reaction from when you're auditioning in person. It's like, okay, thank you. So you're not gonna know
Damn.
whether you did. That's the psychological part about it. You don't get no reaction.
Oh,
They don't be like,
shit.
nah. Like you know what I'm saying? Like professional ones, nah. They're not like, nah, you did good, whatever. You might think you killed it, and they don't even want you. Or
So
you might
they
think you
don't
bombed it,
even
and they
give
want
like
you.
a facial expression like to let you know like
Mm-mm.
like he was good. They just stone cold just
Nope. They like, thank you. Or they like, can you do this again? Or go wait outside, and we're gonna call you back in. That simple.
so that's interesting though. So say you go for an audition, right? You don't get the role, whatever. What's your process like? Do you ask them like, yo, why didn't I get this role? What could I have done? Or you just like, it wasn't for me, I'll move it on.
You gonna get. I'm used to being told no.
Yeah.
I ain't entitled about nothing. I work hard for everything that I do. So
Yep.
it's you gonna get a million no's before you get a yes. My first,
Yeah.
my first like three auditions before, because I did three auditions and then I did Power. So I had audition. My first ever audition was for The Equalizer 3. That was my
Damn.
first. That was
That's
my first
fire.
audition.
Oh
I was
shit.
like sharing the screen with Denzel. You talk about nervous. I didn't hear nothing back. My second one was Law and Order, and then my third one was
Wow.
this TV show that's about to come out called Long Bright River. It's supposed to come out on Peacock.
Mm.
Those I got told no, and then the strike happened. You can't be
Mm.
discouraged by stuff like that, because if you walk around with that sense of entitlement that you're gonna get every role, you ain't gonna make it. Straight up. That's how I was in my
Yep.
college. Like these people, like they focus so much on the musical theater students
Hmm.
and made them and they typecast. I didn't get casted in my first show in college until my senior year,
Wow.
which is bullshit. Like, but they typecast these musical theater students the
Yeah.
whole time, like the whole time, made them believe that they were going to be on Broadway as soon as school was over.
Mm.
They get told no in that world. A lot of them ain't on. And that's messed up that it's like that. But that's how the theater
Yep.
program is down there now. Like, I can't give the credit to them for the reason that I got Power. Because the day after I graduated, I paid $1,400 to enter that competition that I won.
Wow.
I took that, I invested
Paid
in
for it.
myself.
That's
Paid
crazy.
for it. I paid for it. No guarantee that I was going to win.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I
So
couldn't rely on school.
I'm curious about that because at what point is it like, all right, I done gotten so many no's that like, all right, I should probably go do something else, or does it really not matter? Like, if you love it, you just got to keep going. Because I feel like at a certain point, like, bro, you're gonna get discouraged. Like, damn, don't nobody want to cast me? Like,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. You have to love what you do. I love what I do.
Mm,
It
mm,
doesn't matter about being told yes or not. I
yep.
love this. Like I feel alive when I'm on stage. I feel alive when I'm in
Mm,
front of the camera. There's nothing that can take me away from that. Like if you going into this only wanting to do it for success, that's when you get discouraged. I want to do this
mm,
because this is what I love. I always said this.
yep.
I don't want to be famous. I want to be well known for what I do. There's a
Mm,
big difference between it.
big difference. Yep.
Big difference. Shout out Michael B. Jordan. He's famous, real famous. Denzel Washington. He's famous not by he don't have a choice to be famous, but he's well known for what he do. That's why there's a certain level of respect and like being on the scene. You don't see Denzel Washington on the scene. You don't see Denzel Washington on the media. None of that. He's well known for what he does, but he has his private life. That's what I want.
Facts. It's crazy because I seen an interview with him. I forgot what project he was doing press for, and the dude called him like a Hollywood star. And he's like, nah, I'm not a Hollywood
Mhm.
star. Like I'm a stage actor or something first. Like he checked dude. I was like, damn. Like that's why
Mhm.
that's why. Like he's not even claiming to be like a movie star. He was talking about how like the real actors do stage first. Do you have experience with that? What's kind of your thoughts on doing stage and doing classes and stuff before you enter kind of the movie, TV, film world?
Yeah, so I've been doing all I've been doing is stage for 15 years.
Wow.
I'm doing a show at a Broadway theater April 26th. I'm on stage
Wow.
right now. Like so
Wow.
it's like
Working.
the stage is the first love. Like that's the
Hmm.
first love because with being on film, you got takes. You could cut, take it,
Facts.
retake again. You got one chance on that stage. On that
Mm.
stage, when there's thousands of people in that audience, you can't mess up. And if you do mess up, you got to pick up and keep going. And that's why the stage has to be your first love before. Now there's people that
Mm.
jumped into film. Shout out to people that just jump into the film and that's where they stay. But if you love this art, because theater is an art. That's why it's called
Yep.
theater. You do it
Mm.
it's originated in the theater before it became film. If you love what you do, if you love this art, when you touch that stage, nothing can stop you at that point.
I'm curious because do you feel like doing theater makes the film stuff a lot easier? Because like you said, on theater, like ain't no retakes, ain't no reshoots. Like whatever you doing is what you doing. Whereas film, like you can mess up 5, 6 times, they just reshoot it again. They just reshoot it again. You feel like you got more confidence going into a film set than you do even on stage.
Yeah, I would say with film set, um, it's less nerve wracking. You know what I'm saying? Being on a set than being on
Yeah.
stage. You mess up on set, you already have the role and stuff like that. They could cut. Okay, how can we
Yep.
do this again? But with stage that night, opening night, yo, this opening night, we did tech yesterday. This is opening night. You got to bring it. You can
Mm.
be as nervous as you want. When that curtain opens, when that curtain opens, it's different, man. That's why I had to train
Yeah.
myself. I I was a class clown in middle school and stuff. Like I
Mm.
love attention. The reason why I got into theater is because I was getting in trouble a lot in school. And my librarian and my music teacher, shout out to them. It's like, you know what? You want to be a class clown? You want to be on Front Street all the time? You want to be on the scene? We're gonna put you in theater. So I got put
Yep.
in theater. And then I was on stage and I got that reaction and everybody was laughing and clapping for me. And I'm like, damn, I could do this without getting in trouble. Oh
Yep.
yeah, I
Like a
gotta start
drug.
leveling from there.
So, how different is the preparation for doing a stage show rather than doing a TV show? You feel like
With TV, you don't really know when like I got the power script the day before. Like you don't really know
day
when you're
before?
gonna get the script. Yeah, because my scene was really short. So I mean that's
Okay,
like
okay,
that's
okay.
average for like you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying for the day
yeah, yeah.
before. But
Okay.
with the film set and stuff like that, it's a lot of you don't really know what you walking into. As for stage, you have multiple rehearsals to prepare. Like
Mm.
with film, you get a table read, and then when it's time to come to set, it's time to come to set. You kind of rehearse as you go, like with film. With stage, you have rehearsals. You got to be in rehearsal. It's stage presence. Downstage right, downstage left. Like you have to learn your presence on stage. You build chemistry on stage.
Mm.
So it's a lot more preparation for the stage in the theater than it is for film.
So, would you say that you prefer to be on stage than to be like a TV show or a movie?
At this point, I love film and TV. Honestly, like after being on Power, like I love filming because I like. I mean,
Yeah,
the stage is always gonna be now. I'm always gonna love the stage, but
yeah,
right now, what I'm transitioning to after this show, April 26th, I'm diving straight into film and TV. That's where it's at for real. And I think
yeah.
it's just because of the like yeah, it's cool being on stage, but seeing it's like I sometimes I just go to stars and just put and push pause like and see I'm like yo I'm really on Power Book 3 raising Kanan on stars like so I think it's just the feeling of like film
Yeah.
it's the feeling I got of being on film and TV. I can't like I want to keep going. I want more. Like I want to do it more.
So, with that being said, is there like a specific role or a type of show that you like are seeking? Like, because being on Power, you probably like was hoping like, damn, am I gonna be a gangster? Like, was that the type of role that you wanted to kind of come into? Because I feel like anyone who rock with Power, they want to be like immersed in that world.
I'm just like I was grateful to be a part of it. Like whenever I get
Yep.
anything, I'm grateful to be a part of it. So
Yep.
whatever that was, I was like, yo, I'm in. But I also in this industry, you have to. I keep certain morals. There's certain things that I won't do.
Mm.
Like there's certain
Yep.
things in my contract that I won't do because like at the end of the day, I'm a man before anything, and I'm still a human being.
Yep.
So
Hmm.
there's certain things that I won't do. Like there's certain scenes, certain roles, some stuff. If I don't agree with it, I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna respectfully say no. You know what I mean? And I don't mind that. I don't I don't
Yeah.
care if it's for $1 million, like stuff like that right now. I don't mind saying no. If it's something that I'm not comfortable with and I don't agree with, I'm not gonna do it. And that's how you keep your mind in this industry. That's why you can't do it for fame or for money. When you're
Mm.
goal driven and you're driven by the love that you have for something, all of that stuff doesn't matter. There's nothing that could take you off course or distract you from it.
Yep.
If your mindset is in the right place.
So with being in the industry, right, and trying to stay professional and all that, how do you be paranoid? Like when you get on a set and you're like, can I trust these people? Like when it comes to like making friends and connections, how do you kind of move with that? Like with meeting people, making friendships and connections in the industry? Because at the end of the day, it's still your job. You don't know how people going to take things. You don't know who you could trust for all these days. Not even just in the industry, but on Earth. But in that business, that's like a very snaky shit be going on from what we
Hmm.
hear. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, you ain't lying. It should be going on. It should be going on. I think what it is you know who you know who people are after the cameras are off.
Okay.
So when the cameras are off and y'all go home, like my crew, for instance, all my crew kept in contact. Shout out all of them. Like they
To
all
this
were
day?
were cool and stuff like that. Me and especially Ro, me and Ro locked in. We did stuff after that. Me and Ro got stuff coming and everything. Like so, you
Tough.
like he. It's like they all stayed connected. Like you know what I mean. So that you know who a person is after the cameras is off. After y'all all leave, is this person still going to be
Mm.
around? Is this person still going to show love? And they all still the same. They all still the same. Everybody show love. So I think when being on set, it's not something that you could just be like, yo, I trust this automatically. Because nobody goes into anything new trusting it automatically. That's not
Yep.
human nature because of all the controversy in the world. But
Hmm.
when you get up there, if you I'm big on energy. I mean, I believe that. I believe in energy. So if I can feel when energy is off, I'm like, yeah, this is not a good idea. I shouldn't be here. So if it's ever like that, like I said, if I'm ever in an uncomfortable space, I'm gonna let it be known. I don't care what I'm
Mm.
doing. I'm not
Okay.
compromising my sanity for nothing.
Yep.
So you have to be able to read that. Like I'm able to read that. Like I'm like, all right, this is all right. Or you mean we all like if you real in tune with yourself and you real, you know when
Yeah.
a fake conversation versus a real one, man. I done had
Absolutely.
people I met in the industry that be like, yo, man, I'm gonna be in contact with you. Hey, we going I'm like, yeah, word, all right. I know it's some bullshit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because people they have to say that, especially when they in a
Yeah.
rush. Because like I'm one of those people,
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to walk up and talk to anybody. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So it's like when they in the run, they're like, yo, man, we gonna connect. Or like, yo, man, talk to my people. My people talk to you people. All right, cool. I ain't gonna hold my breath. But then there's some people that abide by it. Like, that stuck to it. Like Ro, shout out Ro. He was one of those people that stuck to it. When we left the set, he hit me immediately. Like, yo, I got this project coming up. I want you to be a part of it. Oh, cool. Let's do it.
Tough. Yeah. So with that, do you go into these situations like look? Do you kind of seek that out, or it's just like you know what I'm saying? If I meet someone and we connect, then I go from there. But I'm not searching for it. I'm not looking for it. But if it comes about it, then cool. We go kind of like the situation with Ro.
Yeah, I kind of it's one of those things where it's like, if I meet people, I meet people.
Yeah.
If this is the end, this is the end. But if this is wherever I'm at, I'm gonna make it count. Every encounter, whether it's good, bad, medium, with any human being,
Hmm.
I always bring myself, me,
Yeah.
my best self. I put my best face on for everything I do. Everything. My best face is me.
Hmm.
You have to be able to be yourself, like, and that's what's scary about this industry, because it has a way of taking people that used to be themselves and changing them completely. You
Yep.
cannot compromise, like, you can't compromise who you are for the industry. If you compromise you, the industry is gonna have no problem compromising you. It's gonna be easy
Hmm.
for it to get to
That's a
you.
fact. I feel like that got to be difficult though because you're in the industry where people literally pretend for a living. So it's like some
Hmm.
people are really good at that shit, bro. So it's like, how you even tell? Because like you said, okay, when the cameras is off, that's how you know. But it's like they still acting, like they still actors. Some people, y'all doing this for a living though. You know what I mean? So some people at that level, what's the dream role?
The dream role. I'm so glad you asked that because I've been waiting to talk about this because no interview, yo. Oh, also, let me give a shout out to you before I answer that. Shout out to your interviewing
Appreciate that,
skills,
bro.
man. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out, you know what I'm saying? The interviews that I've done so far have been great. And y'all are killing it out here. So I want to give a
Yes,
big shout
sir.
out to y'all, man, and y'all platforms
Appreciate
for
it.
real, man. So I really appreciate this. My dream role is Virgil in Static Shock. I
Virgil.
want, yeah, the person that's you ever seen Static Shock?
Yeah.
His name is Virgil. That's his
The
name.
main character?
Yeah, the main character. I want to play
Oh,
Static.
you're talking about the black dude, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, are you talking about like in the animated series or like an
Now,
adaptation? Like,
I wanna do like the live action.
wow. Is there talks of that being
There's so many talks of it, like, and when I tell you, like, when I want something, I need to get to it some way. So me and my team been trying to figure this out. Like, we was like, yo, okay, I know people because I know somebody that's in the new movie Sinners.
oh, bro, I gotta see that, bro. Oh, shit. I'm about to see
Hey,
that drink
hey,
tomorrow, bro.
I'm
I'm
about to see it
hyped.
tomorrow
I'm
too.
hyped.
So I know somebody that's in it. So I'm trying to get like one thing about me, I don't wait for stuff to come to my plate. I got to get
Okay.
to it. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to find ways to get to it because it's talks that Michael B. Jordan has something to do with it. That's all I'm saying. It's his name
Yeah,
with
you
two
got
O's.
to get on that. You got to get on that. You got to get
I gotta get on it
on
because the dude
that.
they saying the person that they want to play him is the guy from us that his name is Caleb from Stranger Things.
Oh, I know
He's a
exactly what you're
beast.
talking
He's a
about. He is
beast.
a
So
beast. He is a beast.
that's a lot to compete with. You know what I'm saying? When you do it, and
Facts.
especially the work that he put out. Shout out to him.
Yep.
So I don't know. It's one of those things where like I don't know how I'm gonna get to it, but how do we figure it out? How do we get it done? Like I want that role like badly. Like so that's my dream role right there.
So, w- so I'm curious. Like when it comes to because you said your agent is usually the one who dictates the booking, the auditions and stuff. So how does that work? Like, do you tell them this is the type of audition that I'm looking for, or do they just filter out whatever they see and they're like, I got this, I got this, I got this, and how often are you like, nah, I'm not doing that. If that ain't for me, I'm not interested.
So it's rare. Shout out my agent too. Shout out John Shea, man. It's my agent. He my agent contact is not really like it's really business. So it's the only time I really
Mm,
talk to my agent is when he has something coming up for me or I have to be on set and stuff like that. And he gives me the time. He want to make sure that everything is in order. So like with
okay.
him, it's pretty much like he'll send me something. How do you feel about this? Do you want to do this? He always asks me how I feel about it. Like he keeps it, you know what I'm saying? So shout out to my agent. That's the conversation. Like it's really simple, really easy. My manager is the bigger conversations. Like,
Okay.
okay, Reg is like, okay, you want this. We have to figure out how to find it. We have to figure out how to get this. How do we get this done? Like, how do we find it? Let me reach out to this person. He reaches out to people. Figure out. Let's just learn it. Let's just learn it. Let's figure it out. Let's see what we can do. Whatever. I'm taking gymnastic classes right now. I don't even know if I can audition for a Static Shock, but I want to be prepared if I get to
Facts.
it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
and that's my biggest message to everybody that's out there really trying to get to something.
Hmm.
Prepare yourself.
Facts.
Prepare yourself. Even if like, because Static Shock feels so far fetched, but not for me.
Yeah, it's not. It's not though, because you never know.
You never
You
know,
never know. This
and it
interview could come out and they're like,
ain't about
hey,
who you know. It's
yep,
about what you know. People keep saying it's about who
facts.
you know. No, it's about what you know. If you know what you're capable of, I know I can body that role. I know
Yep,
for a fact. I know if I'm given this opportunity, I'm it's over. I'm on
yep.
power now. I got my foot in the door. Now I'm kicking it the fuck down.
Fuck that
It's over
shit.
at this point.
Yeah. So you talked about the agent and your manager. How you meet your manager? Because I feel like in this industry, like finding a manager and the agent, bro, that you can trust is probably hell. So how do you
Yeah.
kind of build those relationships and keep that?
So my manager is my first cousin, who's basically like my brother. That's our fathers
Okay.
are brothers. So I've been my whole entire life. The thing that separates Reg is he didn't want to be my manager, but he was doing manager things. He was like, he
Mm.
made sure like he wasn't my manager with power and stuff like that. He was just like, yo, I'm gonna make sure that you get here, he just genuinely wanted to see me win. Now there's a lot of people in my family that after this came out and stuff like that, that's trying to be like, I don't even
Yep.
engage in that.
You
But
already know.
with him was he always wanted to see me win just to win. I'm talking about there's times where back when where I was broke, I ain't had nothing. And Reggie made sure I ate. And it was no thing. It was nothing to it.
Fire.
Like, and that's the people that you want in your corner. Like, I know he's not. We had a chance to. I could talk about it now, but we had like a $75,000 to like $100,000 contract to do something on Zeus like reality TV. He turned it down.
Ooh.
He
Wow.
turned it down.
Talk about
Now
why.
that's not me. He said,
Mm.
I know you. Now we from the hood. We from the projects. Like we from New Haven, Connecticut. It's real out here. It's terrible. He said, you're not built for reality TV. That's not who you are because you're too authentically yourself. Reality TV is based off of
Mm.
people like, oh, start a fight, say this, somebody gonna say the wrong thing
Yep.
to you, and
Yep.
you not gonna be able to contain yourself. He's like, that's not you, that's not who you are, that's not who we are, that's not what we working for. So that's just not our
Yep.
alley. So now we're gonna say no. And I'm like, I don't argue. You're absolutely right. You have to have that relationship with your partners, because he's my partner at this point. You have to have that relationship where you could be like, I know, I'm sure you probably do too. You got friends or like your close ones, your homies that's like, nah, bro, that ain't it. You right, bro.
Yep.
You right.
Yeah. Talk about that because it's one thing to have your a manager, but to have a manager who's family, how do you kind of navigate that relationship where it's like, all right, family, but this is still business, my nigga? Like, you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
You can't blur those lines. And kind of like you said, like, where he was like, yo, you got to turn down this opportunity. Most people are not doing that. They say $100,000 live TV. They
Hmm.
signing that right away. So talk about the trust that you got to have to be like, you're right, bro. Like, let's let that opportunity go by. That's crazy.
That's why. That's why money. You can't. That's why you can't be money driven. Like, think about it.
Facts.
Remember what I said earlier? If somebody was
Yeah.
money driven, they would have jumped on that Zeus Network thing. Like, oh yeah, cool, let's
So
do it.
quick.
What you mean, nah? You fired. You can't. I'm not driven by that. I'm driven. I'm driven by. I want to be successful. When it's all over and everybody else ain't there, I want me and Reg to still be the ones standing. Like, we
Mm.
went into this as a team, and we family to the day we leave this earth. But when we in this world, if I look at you and you look at me, and you don't feel like this is right, or I don't feel like this is right, we've been like that our whole life. This ain't right. This
Yep.
ain't right. Cool. We gonna walk away. We don't never fight it. We don't never argue because we have that trust that we always know what's best for each other. Like sometimes, and you have to be aware as a human being. Like sometimes you're not always gonna know what's best for you, especially
Yeah.
when good opportunities come and go. Red's like, nah, that's not for you. It's a great opportunity. It's a lot of money on the table. That's not you. You
Hmm.
right. You right. That ain't me. I know that ain't me. I'm aware of that. Move on. What's
Like
next?
that. Yep. So, you got any projects or things that you kind of want to shout out that you're working on that you want to bring to light?
So the only thing I can really talk about right now is the show that I'm doing, which is it's going for a Broadway credit, and it's April 26th, New Haven, Connecticut. The show is called Call Forth a Woman, and it's at the Schubert Theater, which is a Broadway regional theater in downtown New Haven. It's about the women in the Bible.
Mm.
So we always talk about the men in the Bible. We talk about Jeremiah, Joshua, but we don't talk about the women in the Bible like Shiphrah and Puah, who were the ones that carried Moses, or Deborah, the ones that like really like she led an army with Barak. We don't talk about Ruth and Naomi, how Ruth asked Boaz, which is who I play, a guardian redeemer, to be her husband. That's unheard of.
Wow.
So that's what this play is really strong. And shout out to Trinae McGee because she's the one that's directing this show. And this play is really get y'all tickets. Come see this because this show is gonna move you. I've done this show before, man. This is the second show we doing. That's right now. That's April 26th. I'm about to go into tech for that this week. And then I just signed a new contract. You know what I'm saying? I got a TV show and a movie that I'm about to start working on, and I got like another movie that I
Hey,
have an
congrats,
audition
man.
for.
That's fire.
Thank you. It's just I wish it was more than I could say, but with them NDAs, you can't really say that. So all I can tell y'all is
Yeah.
stay tuned, man.
So, I got a personal question though. So, like you said, you're always working. You're always working. Aren't you tired? Like, when do you get to the point where I'm like, okay, I gotta take a break. Like, because I'm the same way. Like, I be telling people around me, like, I'm working. They're like, what are you doing this weekend, bro? I'm doing the same shit I was doing last weekend. I'm working. I dead ass don't care about nothing else, bro. I don't want to go on no
I feel you.
vacation. I just want to work because we're not where we want to be at. So why am I gonna
Exactly.
chill? I don't understand that concept of chill. I can't chill. I be feeling
Hmm.
depressed when I do. So I can only imagine what it's like
For real.
in the acting industry.
I think with me is like the balance of don't lose, and this is my advice to you too. You do what you do because you love doing it and it's fun. Don't lose
Facts.
the fun aspect of what you do. It only
Hmm.
becomes work when it's treated like a job.
Mm,
I'm gonna say it to you one more time. It
yeah.
only becomes work when it's treated like a job. This is your platform. You MrPower universe. This is what fun to you. This is what you love doing. This is not your
Facts.
job. This
Yeah.
is not your job. You're just getting opportunity because of what you do. When you love doing something, the opportunities are endless. The moment
Mm.
it becomes work is the moment where you lose sight of the fun and the love that you had for it. You don't want to ever lose that.
But how do you not blur those lines though, right? Because when you're doing something you love, and then money comes into the picture, and you're making
Hmm.
money from it, then there's kind of like an expectation to perform at a certain level to do certain things. So how does it not become work? Because like what you do, you love acting, but
Hmm.
it's your profession. So how do you like? how do you not go crazy? Because it's like there's probably sometimes where you probably don't want to act or you don't want to be on stage or you probably don't want to film. So where's the balance there?
The moment I would say the balance is the moment that is like is even though you tired,
Yeah.
even though you don't feel like doing it, the moment you get on that stage or the moment you get in front of that camera, if you still and the camera says rolling and they say action or they say go, and you still feel like you're not giving your all, if you ain't giving your 100% to it, that's when it becomes a job. That's when it's over. When the
Mm-hmm.
100% leaves it,
Facts.
it's over after that. Like I always
Yeah.
said this to myself. If I ever gave less than 100 when I'm acting, I'm not doing it. Because you got to think about it. The only difference
Mm-hmm.
when money and opportunities are involved is you're doing what you love with with people that are doing it as well. So you can't
Facts.
you can't be Mr. Power Universe, right? And you come in and you doing a video, and then say they want you to do a interview about like your thoughts on what's about to happen, and you tired this day. But the other dude, that's Mr. Power Universe too. He, I'm saying, he got his own platform. He come in, he bringing his all. So you got a peer that's doing exactly what you doing, and the love that he had for it is still there, and your love is going. You'll see it. I've seen it.
Yep.
I've seen people look at me and be like, "Dang man, you really do love this, man. I used to be like that." You don't want to be that guy. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So you have to keep that love drives the hunger.
Facts. Do you do you feel like in the acting business you could tell when someone don't love it?
Oh, absolutely. Abs
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like when I tell you, oh man. When I tell
Yeah.
you, like, but I don't go into that judging people. You never know what people are going through. I go to
Yeah.
help. I go to help. Like, yo, I see that this is all. Is everything okay? And that's where mental health is a big thing to check in. And I'm glad we tapped into that too. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Mental health is important. I kid you not. The things that I went through in my life are like people don't bounce back from. That year where I graduated college and I won that competition, I lost
Mhm.
four people that were significant to me. My first cousin, who was like my brother, basically my brother, I lost him in January. And that was January 1st. And then the day after I graduated college, which was the day I entered the competition, my little cousin, who was like my little brother, he got killed.
Wow. Sorry to hear that,
And then
bro.
my homeboy that went with me to both of those funerals died the next month. And then I lost my uncle in August. I lost
Damn.
four people that I spent my whole entire life with in the course of 8 months. And I still didn't stop.
Mm.
I still did not give up. Like I still didn't stop. That's how the love for it. When you have a love for something, everything, like grief, all of that, like the love for it outweighs everything. Because anybody else wouldn't been able to go continue to do nothing. I still
Facts.
drove the mass and did that competition with all of that weighing on my heart because I
And you
love
won
what I
that
do
joint. Yep.
and I want it. You see what I'm
Yeah. Yeah. It comes full circle.
saying?
Talk about the mental health part because I feel like in acting, a lot of times you see actors, they do a movie, they do a role, and it almost seems like they get stuck in that shit, bro. Like they can't separate themselves from the
Mm-hmm.
role or the actor. Like, do you feel like that's ever happened to you? Have you seen that happen to other people around you where they
Um,
do a role and they're just like they still in it after?
they still stuck in it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because
What
that's what you
what
don't
role
want.
is I think it hasn't happened to me yet. What I will say is when you dive that deep into a role, like, and this shout out to Michael Ealy, the actor Michael Ealy. He said after
Go.
he did Four Color Girls. Now we all know what happened in Four Color Girls and what he had to do. Now, me personally, I'm gonna be honest.
Wild.
I couldn't throw no kids out the window. I couldn't do that. I
Oh
don't have that
God.
in me. You have to have a certain amount of like strength in you to go through that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
So him playing that man left after he finished filming. He left for like 6 or 7 months away from his family and everything by himself. You have to isolate yourself.
Wow.
Like
6 7 months.
literally isolate yourself to find because you can find yourself again. When you playing a character for so long, you're gonna find yourself again. Like
Yeah.
really, really find yourself. Even me. I ain't gonna say this didn't happen to me. It did it. It did a little bit. After I did Power and I got back, I was low key a hothead a little bit. Like I got back, like, and I was just
You're
like,
like, yeah, yeah,
I was
nigga, I'm
ready to
on
get
fire,
bucked at everybody.
nigga.
Like, wait, but when you have that, when you in tune with yourself, I was in tune with myself. I'm like, yeah, something ain't right. You acknowledge
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I need a break. So I took 3 days off of like everything, like, and I just stayed in the crib. I stayed in the
Wow.
crib, and I was watching funny videos because I'm I'm naturally fun. I like to have fun. I like to laugh. I was
Yep.
just watching funny videos 3 days straight, just chilling in the crib, like not talking to nobody. Sending text, yo, I'm good. I'm just taking a mental break. And you need those boundaries too. Boundaries are
Mm,
important. Have
yeah.
those boundaries. So I took 3 days to myself. And I was all right again. But you need that time. You need to. You can't play a character for so long and then be ready to. Oh yeah, I'm ready to go on with life. Nah, you need to take a minute. Take a minute.
Yeah. That's deep, bro. Damn, I never really thought about that. Like, cause you always see that. Like, you see people, especially people who play roles for like 4, 5, 6, 7 years. You, they change. Like, you could tell that those roles affect them. Cause people always talk about Amari Harbrick who played Ghost. They be like,
Mm-hmm.
bro, whenever they see that man, they think he's still Ghost. Cause like, bro, played that role so good. And
Yep.
also, I want to talk about that too. Like, not getting typecasted. Do you feel like that's in the back of your head when you going for roles, or do you just like, nah, I'm doing this role so good that the next one is gonna be fire too? Or do you care? Or do you even feel like typecasting is a bad thing?
It's not a bad thing. And
Yeah,
if you don't want it to be, like certain people like think of it differently. It's not a bad thing.
yeah.
Um, that's why I have 5 different headshot looks. And if you look on my
Mm,
IMDb, you can see like my head or my profile picture is me cheesing. But in Power,
yeah.
I'm a gangster. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's different. You know what I'm saying? I have 5 different shots for that. The
Yep.
picture that you posted today, that's the headshot I use for Power.
That's why I
So like you
posted
have to,
it.
yeah, see what I'm saying? Like that one is like you have to be able to like shed light on what else you can do.
Mm,
If somebody see you on set the whole day, like, and you like happy go lucky the whole time and stuff like that, they be like, dang man, he always happy. That's how people gonna talk about you. That's why Kevin Hart didn't start doing dramatic acting until he did the Upside.
mm,
Think about how
yeah.
long it took him to get a dramatic acting role, but he had to
Fact.
prove to the world that he could do it, and that's hard. That's hard but that's because of his presence, his stage presence, his character presence. Every character that he's had, he brought that level to it. You know what I mean? So I think with me, I want to give every different like different aspect of who I am in each role and every way. Now I don't mind being typecasted. But I'm going to
Mm,
me personally, I'm gonna show how fun I am. If I keep getting casted as a gangster, after that's over, I'm gonna still keep showcasing my personality. Because the
yep.
people are like, let me see how he does in the comedy. It's all about like how you
Mm,
present yourself as well, too.
yep. So what's the ideal like genre that you want to do? Is it drama? Is it comedies? Is it science
Comedy.
fiction? Comedy?
Comedy, man. I want to be that character. Even in the TV show that I'm doing right now, I'm that comedy relief character. Like everything going wrong, and I'm the motherfucker that walk in like, hey, like what's happening? Like, you know what I'm saying? I want that aspect of it. I want to be the comedy relief character. I want like my goal right now before the year is over is to become a season regular on a TV show. Like that's the
Mm,
goal right now. That's what we shooting for.
okay.
What I want it to be. I want it to be a comedy. Like I want to be a comedic character. Like 8 to 10 episodes of me just because I get to channel me. Like now, if it is dramatic, I ain't gonna be against it. You know what I mean, that's
Yeah.
just what it is. But
Yeah.
like, I do like the comedy side. I love.
So talk about like the series regular thing. Like what's kind of the big difference between for the people who just watch and they don't know, what's the difference
Mm.
between like the series regular, a lead, and like a reoccurring and a guest star and like all these different types of roles?
So it's all different types of contracts. But like with me, I had a cameo, which was me being in the show, and
Yeah.
then with it's obviously it's different pay, it's different levels on the call sheet. When you a star, you number one, you 1 through 5 on the call sheet. When you're and that's a season regular, like
Yep.
so the amount of money that you can make as a season regular is top tier, top tier, very very top tier. I think that the reason I want a season regular is because obviously I want to be able to be a part of something like full time. Like I want to be a part of this
Mm,
world. And I want to be a season regular from like season one. Like I want to, you know what I mean? Like how
the
Snowfall was, how
OG.
Franklin started on season one
Yeah.
all the way to 6. Like I want that type of role. I want a show that I could bring life to that will get longevity.
Mm. So talk about the money and how like you a series regular, they making crazy bread. What's the process in? in this business when you do get a role, like in negotiating? Because I feel like how you know your value for real? Because you might get an offer that might be way below what you feel like you're worth, but it might be a role that you really want to do. How do you kind of navigate? Like, no, I need this or I need that, or is that up to the manager, or is the agent
Yeah, the
involved in
manager and
that?
the agent, it is up to them too, but it does come to me.
Yeah,
I'm more so of a like that's why it's tricky being money driven. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna let nobody blackball me,
facts.
but like but like getting what I'm worth, I would say is you have to prove what you're worth first.
Facts.
I can't go and negotiate if somebody offer me like 80,000 to 90,000 an episode. I'm not gonna go in there and be like, "Well, I feel like I deserve this." Nah, yeah, nah. I'm gonna like 8 to 10 episodes, 80,000 each episode. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can
Yeah.
do. How does this work? But then if I give my all to this, and then this show generates mad money, and we get renewed for another season, that's cool. Then we get renewed for another season, and then if the show is increasing, like the money is gonna increase. That's when new contracts be presented. Then it's like, okay, I
Okay.
gave you guys my all for 3 seasons. I feel like I deserve this amount now. You have
Yep.
the leverage. If you don't have the leverage, don't go in that
Yeah.
meeting. Don't go in that meeting acting like
Yeah.
that. Please don't,
Yeah.
because they will
Don't
send
fuck
you
that
out.
money up.
You have to show them first. You can't go in like and be like, oh, like this is what I want or whatever. We don't know you, sir. We
Yep.
don't know you. We don't know what you can do. We saw what you did on other projects. We didn't see what you can do here first.
Mm.
You need
So
the
I'm
leverage.
curious. I'm curious because you talked about the money and stuff. So people always assume that like they see what these actors make in 100,000 episode, blah blah blah. But like, how much of that did they actually take home? Because like you said, you got the manager, you got the agent, you might have a publicist. Like, how much money out of what the actor is getting are they actually taking home?
So obviously we got taxes.
Yeah,
Taxes gonna get you every time, unless you pay taxes at the end
crazy.
of the year. Not me. Take the taxes out my check. I'm cool.
Yep.
Cool. So IRS gonna get what they get. My agent takes 10%. My manager takes. I give Reggie 20%, depending on what the role
Wow.
is and like what is happening. I do that. I upped his percentages, and especially for roles that he found me, like he finds me, I up his
Mm,
percentages on that. That's the work, like you know what I'm saying, when he come into play, because like I want I get the season regular. Reggie's gonna make sure that I'm there. Everything is cool. Yeah, that's cool. My agent gonna take his cut. Reg gets his cut too. But I want to give Reg a bigger cut because of everything like that he does at the point. Now my agent told me from the beginning, he was like, I only get 10% of, you know what I'm saying, what is made. So I'm like, okay, like that's cool.
ten
That's
percent low
cool.
key a lot though, bro. Like that ain't no
Yeah,
small cheese. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. And I got a
yeah.
I got a thorough ass agent too, man. I ain't gonna lie. Like, you know what I'm saying? The shit that he be sending me, I'm like, and
Wow.
he took a chance. He took a
Hmm.
chance on me, like, cause I ain't got nothing. I'm fresh out of college or whatever. But that man looked me in
Yeah.
my face and told me I was ready.
Wow.
He was like, you ready? He's like, you just tell me if I'm what you want to go with. You put my like, I'm like, he told me what to do. I put my trust in him. Look at my breakout role. So that
Yeah,
certain level of trust,
that's
man, that's
crazy.
needed.
That's crazy. It's crazy because there's been a couple people that I've like come across, interviewed, just talked to, and they all been like, Power's their first role. And I'm just like, damn, like first role, Power,
50 man,
Power.
50 man. Shout out 50 man. Gotta
Like
give a
really
shout out
be
to 50
putting niggas
man.
on, bro. That's
Yo,
nuts.
he really like 50 really the GOAT for this franchise. Like, and
Yeah.
I love like the team because this is the one show that I can say that really give like new actors. What show you watching right now where you see a bunch of new faces each season? 50 gave people a chance, man. Like
Yeah.
you be like, that's you gotta get behind that.
Facts.
He's real with it. Like he gonna give you a chance. And
Yeah.
that's you can't be wrong with that. Like can't never go wrong with that.
So your character is still alive in the universe, right? Is there a chance you pop back up later in this season or in season five?
Who knows? They might want to bring high low back.
Yeah.
That's when the fans come in. Y'all want to see the low life gang come back? You never know, man. We don't
Yeah.
really we see what Juke is up to so far.
You
She didn't want to
wildin'.
run with us no more. We ain't gangster enough to run with Juke. You see how Juke getting it.
You're moving crazy. Uh, so I want to take too much of your time. I want to get you out of here. Is there any other topics you wanted to touch? Anything you wanted to speak on? Let the people know. Get off your
Honestly, I
chest.
think, yeah, I think, for the people out there, um, if you chasing anything, and anybody tell you that it ain't a reality, block them out. You know how many
Facts.
people told me that acting wasn't real? They like, oh man, they like, yo man, you need to find something. I was supposed to be an accountant. I got an accounting degree too. They wanted me to be an accountant.
Wow.
I'm
Damn.
like, I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah. It's boring. It's not what I want. Don't let nobody tell you. When I first told people that I wanted to be an actor, majority of everybody laughed at me. They laughed. Like they
That's
laughed. Like
crazy.
you want to be a, you know what I'm saying? Now those same people are like, dang, you actually did it for real. Yeah. Don't ever let nobody tell you you can't do nothing. You can do it. You can do it. It ain't a dream. It's a goal. I don't call it
Mm.
dreams. I call it
Yep.
goals.
Yep. Hey man, that's a perfect place to leave it, man. I appreciate you for doing this with me. Oh, when we done filming, don't leave because I gotta like upload. Take like 2 minutes, 3 minutes
Now
for
you
your
good. You
part
good.
to upload. But yeah, appreciate you, man. It was just congrats on Power too, because that's crazy. As someone
Thank
who
you, man.
grew up watching this shit, when I see someone else who look like me get in these rooms, it just lets me know like anything is possible. Like like what
Hmm.
you said, don't let nobody shit on your dreams. So we out.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.